Who would be a Wolves fan, eh?
Hello everyone, welcome to your latest Wolves Fancast episode. I'm your host, Little Dan. On tonight's show, we're going to be discussing the upcoming game week 35 of the Premier League with in-depth chat on Man City versus Vitor Pereira's 6 in a row Golden Wanderers, as well as a few other bits of transfer news which has come out in the last probably 24 hours or so. The biggest news that the Sun decided to leak earlier on today was that the fact that Wolves have been linked with steptoe Jamie Vardy from Leicester City. It's a load of bollocks, guys. Don't read the Sun. It's absolute trash tabloid. Always will be. They're trying to link Wolves with Jamie Vardy. He's been linked with moves to recently promoted Wrexham, his boyhood club, Sheffield Wednesday, and potentially a move to MLS. For us at the Wolves Fancast, it seems an absolute load of tripe where maybe Jamie Vardy's agent is using Wolves' name to pump up a bit of interest in his client. But hypothetically, Eddie, would you take Jamie Vardy?
I think money's the issue, really. I mean, if money was no object, he'd be a really solid backup option. You know, we need another striker in the summer. We could possibly do with 2 other strikers in the summer. We've been quite fortunate with Strand Larsen so far that he's remained fit. But what's he on at Leicester? You know, he's got to be on like 100,000 a week, right, or more. So I just don't see the club paying that much for a backup striker. I just don't think it's feasible, wages wise. I don't think we're going to do it. But if offered, and if we made a deal, I know he's a shithouse, but be a decent option off the bench.
There was unspeculated rumours that Conor Cody was on 100 grand or more at Leicester City when they got promoted last season. Apparently there was a wage increase for Conor Cody if Leicester got promoted. So if Conor Cody's on sort of that figure, you can only guess what Jamie Vardy's on. Hypothetically for you, Josh, would you take Jamie Vardy in the summer if he became available financially?
Jamie Vardy had such a bad game that I actually started to feel bad for him at one point. Because, I was watching him, I was thinking, you look at him and you abuse him, and I abused him myself, but you think, he must be having a terrible day out. Honestly, I wouldn't go near him, man. It's horrible to say, and it's a bit youthful to say washed, but if I could describe him in one word, it's washed. He's got nothing to offer at this level, I don't think, anymore.
Yeah, he looked well off the pace on Saturday. Obviously, he was coming up against the most informed defence in Europe at the moment with 6 wins in 6 games, especially coming up against Emmanuel Agbadou, who's, he's an absolute gargantuan of a centre-half, isn't he? I agree with you. I've not really got any animosity towards Jamie Vardy. I know a few Wolves fans are still a bit aggrieved when he did the hell when he scored against that one game, and he's said a few comments here and there, but got no real animosity towards him, to be honest. It's a bit of a Roy of the Rover story, his actual career trajectory from Fleetwood to winning the Premier League, playing for England, and getting to a quarter-final of a Champions League. And for me, I prefer having a bit of a character still left in the game compared to some of Pep's robots that you've seen in recent years. But what's your thoughts on Jamie Vardy, Ali?
Yeah, I mean, he's a character. That's one way of putting it. I wouldn't take him. I think his best days are long behind him. Just looking here at, he scored 7 goals this season. I mean, it's not an awful return, but I think in terms of us looking for a backup striker, Eddie's right. We need a backup striker. There's no 2 ways about it. But I think for the salary he'll demand, I think we can do better than that. And I just don't see us going anywhere near him. As you say, I think it's agent talk, and I think he should probably swan off to Saudi or to the MLS and pay his wife's bills and whatnot. I think that's probably where his career goes from now. I think he could probably do a job at a Championship club. I could see that happening, a Wrexham move. But no, I think given where we, all the optimism around the club, where we want to get to, I don't want to be taking a 38-year-old from a team that's just got, who are probably one of the worst teams we've ever seen in the league. I wouldn't touch him.
Where do you stand on the Connor Cody talk, Ali, in regards to a potential comeback for him?
I'm on the fence. I'm not against it, and I'm not massively for it. I think if it happens, I see the positives that he's a great character to have. So I think if he comes in, it's a win-win, and I don't see any downside to it. But if we didn't do it, if we don't make that move and he goes elsewhere, I won't be sat there thinking we should have done that. We've missed out. I think there is certainly something in how old is it? In the last 4 or 5 seasons, we've lost our captain every year, and so we've lost the progression of leaders. So I do see the benefit in bringing somebody in who is a leader and knows the club and is revered and will not, will sit on the bench, will be a decent enough option as a backup, can play in the League Cup, play in the Cup, FA Cup games. I do see the positives in that, but equally, I'm not sort of like going to be massively upset if it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. I think if the financial package really suited the club more than the player, I think I'd be okay with it. It helps that homegrown quota as well. I think that's another key thing, which I thought was a positive in the potential talks on getting Jamie Vardy, is that he could probably do a job. He's homegrown, but after like what Josh said, after Saturday, I think I'd rather give me like 6 months pre-season and give me a go over Jamie Vardy, because the legs had gone, hadn't they, Saturday, for a striker who's based his like all his goal scoring threat on his acceleration and his pace. He was just nowhere near at it, was he, on Saturday? And it even sort of shown with his penalty that he had not much power left in his legs after running for an hour. I thought his penalty was really poor, and thankfully Jose Sa got the save on the day. We were talking about players that who'd had their best days behind them. Where do you stand on Fabio Silva at the moment, Josh? Are his best days ahead of him? Because he has been linked in the last few hours. We've moved to potentially Atletico Madrid, Stuttgart, Wolfsburg, and Eintracht Frankfurt. It's going to be an absolute mental conundrum where Fabio Silva goes as a striker, because I've just got the fear that as soon as he leaves permanently, that he's really going to kick into gear. But what's your thoughts on Fabio this summer?
Yeah, I think his best days are definitely ahead of him, and it seems like the further he gets from Wolverhampton, the better he manages to perform. Obviously, he hasn't set the world alight in Spain, but he's done fairly good in a team that's not that good. And I think I can just see him going to Atletico Madrid and scoring goals in the Champions League. But even if it's not there, I just think he's still so young as well, and that's what people forget. Like, was he 18 when he joined us? Yeah, that's so young, and it probably was the worst thing he could have done at that point in his career, to be honest, combined with Raul getting injured. But I think he'll probably just have a fairly good career in Europe. Maybe he won't ever make it in the Premier League, but is he really going to care about that? Probably not.
He's 23 in July.
Yeah.
He's got so many good years ahead of him, and like a lot of like strikers of his sort of physical frame that don't really hit form, I think, until maybe 26, 27. Yeah, it's just got classic walls written all over it. Just how Vitinha's pulling up trees everywhere he's playing at the moment.
As long as we get a sell-on clause in there, I think we'll have made the most of the situation.
Yeah, they've got to make some decent money back on loan fees that we've allowed him to go out. Obviously, his development has improved him as a player in recent years, but you look at sort of La Liga and Eredivisie and the Belgian league, it's not really tough leagues, is it? And he didn't really set the world alight for PSV, did he? He was playing more off the left for PSV, but maybe this is the development that he needs before he can really hone his style as being a number 9, Eddie. But where do you stand on Fabio?
I mean, if it was FIFA or it was like Football Manager and it's just a computer game, you've got him on loan, you've seen the good he's done, you think, great, I'll have him back now, we'll add him back to the squad, and it'll be a great option for us. But it isn't a computer game, and there is, I would assume, as you guys have discussed, a huge mental block for Fabio Silva coming to Wolves, being at the club, playing at Molineux, I wouldn't imagine he wants to return here. I think he's got this, like Josh was saying, this sort of sour memory and this sour start to his football career. But as you were saying, Dan, he's only 23. We signed Raul Jimenez. He was 27, and then he was still, even then, moving into his prime. He's a big player. I think he's only going to improve. And yeah, he can have a good future. And Cristiano Ronaldo's not going to play forever. We got Gonzalo Ramos. They need. What I'm saying is Portugal will be looking for that kind of player as an option going forward. So yeah, I think he's got a good career ahead of him. Part of me wishes he could come back to Wolverhampton, but I just don't think it'll ever happen. And probably for the best for both parties that it doesn't happen. So yeah, if we can get 20 million for him, then let's crack on.
Eddie's mentioned 20 million there, Ali. His contract's due to expire in June 2026. What sort of fee are you expecting Wolves to sort of receive this summer if he does leave permanently? I think 20 million seems a bit high, but your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, you bite someone's hands off, wouldn't you, if they offer you 20? I've seen, is it 20 million euros has been touted, or that we're looking for somewhere in that region, or I did see 17 million as well. I mean, if it's in the high teens, I think that's as good an outcome as we could have had. I think he'll have a decent career elsewhere. It won't be at Wolves. If we get anything above 15 million, I think you take it. Yeah, as you say, Josh made a good point there. Get a sell on in case his career does skyrocket, and we write it off. We've probably saved ourselves a few quid on his wages over the years when he's been out on loan, and it's long been written off, hasn't it, Fabio? That we knew it wasn't gonna. It isn't gonna work. If we get something like that, we've cut our losses and we both move on. So yeah, I think anything above 15 million, you're quite happy with that.
What about you? You're nodding in agreement there, Josh?
Yeah, I think anything above 15 million, if you can get a sell-on clause and a few bonuses, maybe like Champions League goals, Portugal goals, appearances for country, whatever. I think you'd really struggle to ask for anything more than that, to be honest. But it's one of them. Make transfers sometimes they don't work out. You've got to make the most of them.
I'm just looking on Google. Maybe it's time we do a deal with Atletico Madrid, which allows Thomas Lemar to finally make that move to Wolves.
Yeah. Or where's Talisca? Find out where he is.
He's at Fenerbahce at the moment, isn't he?
Work something out.
Yeah, let's make the deal. Send him João Gomez and Andre. Let's just get Talisca in at any cost. Let's give the fans what they want. We need more Brazilian entertainers on the pitch. Joking. It ain't even funny as a joke getting rid of João Gomez and Andre. I apologise wholeheartedly for that. Let me just do a bit more housekeeping before we jump further on into the episode. This month at Molineux on May the 30th, Wolves Fancast will be coming up against various other Wolves content creators from the likes of Talking Wolves, Always Wolves, the Wolf Pack, the 77 Club, Mark Rhodes from BBC WM. The list goes on. So if you can help us as we fundraise for the Good Shepherd Wolverhampton, we'd really appreciate it. The link will be in the bio after this episode, and you can hopefully support us, whether it's by donating, sharing the link, or hopefully coming on the day. There will be limited tickets which we'll make available. So keep your eyes on at Wolves Fancast across all social media, and we'll try and get you involved where we can. On top of that, today we announced our partnership with the Boot Chamber. .com. They are the UK's #1 trusted football boot site in the UK. They sell various items from classic, rare and dead stock football boots, grip socks. Take a look at their website, thebootchamber.com. If you're a Wolves Fancast follower, you can get 10% off all orders. And as I know, Eddie's doing a quiz at the end of this show, I thought I'd quickly put Eddie on the spot with the images that you can see on the screen. Sorry for those who are listening via our audio platforms. You'll see 4 various different pairs of Wolves-related football boots in the middle of the screen. Easy, medium, and hard level, Eddie. Can you see the boots at the top of the screen. That is the easiest one out of the four. But can you name that player's boots?
Dan, you've put me on the spot here, and you're gonna stump me. I am. There's two types of, well, more than two, but there's definitely two collectors that go into the sort of football shirts, football boots camp. There's actually a charity match that happens every year. There's this guy called Shirt Hits the Fan on Instagram. Every year he does a shirt collectors versus boot collectors charity match, actually in Netherlands this summer. But I have never been a boots guy. I play football. I play for over 35s team, veterans team. Now I'm at that point in my life. And I get my boots down from, I will admit, I get them from Vinted. I like them second hand. I like them worn in a bit. I got some Nike boots, but I couldn't even tell you what the actual type of boot it is. So top, God, well, I can see the number 26. Trying to think who's been number 26 for Wolves.
An iconic pair of football boots, I believe, from the League One era.
From the League One era. Well, I mean, we've had some great players there. Oh, number 26 in the League One era. Oh, Christ. I mean, I think number 26 was Ina Bakary, but I don't think that was League One era. That was a few years later. So, I mean...
I can see Ali and Josh both leaning towards their laptops quite intently, trying to get a better look. Ali, have you got any idea on that top pair of boots there?
The top, I mean, I'm thinking he's left-footed because of the way he's coming inside. No, come back to me. I think I've got at least one of the other ones, but not the top one.
Yeah. So if you look at the top pair of boots, Josh, your guess.
Right. I need some clarification. You know when you say the top picture, are we talking about the ones with the Wolves logo, or is that just like a placement picture?
No, it's literally there's four pairs of boots in the middle row of those. The top pair, it's got it's a Nike pair. It's got
Superfly 4s.
It's got 100 on because it was the player's 100th appearance for Wolves.
Yeah. 100 appearances, and it was around the League One time.
You've given a big clue there, Dan. I've got a couple of answers I could throw out.
I don't know if you'd have made more appearances.
So we've already got the first correct answer in the comment section, so I'm going to push you three guys before I... I mean, if you look at the comments now, you're cheating.
Yeah, man.
Right,
No,
so the first
26.
top pair, as correctly said by James WFC 24, is Bakary Sakho. I think it may have been the Brentford away game, if I remember correctly, but you'll have to have a bit more historical research on that. So, the top one is Bakary Sakho. The second pair, as you can see, is a silver pair Nike. I believe they look like maybe Nike Mercurial Vapors. This would have been around the 2004, 2005, 2006 season. I'll come to you first, Ali.
Yeah, that was that. To be fair, that was who I thought we were looking at. I wasn't sure about the top one, whether that was just for seeing a Wolves player in action. My mind's gone blank from around that time. Left-footed, 2005, 6.
I'll give you more of a hint there, Ali, because you said left-footed. He was very, very ambidextrous.
With Mercurial Vapors.
You got to be looking at wingers.
Tightly.
Michael Kitely. Josh, your guess? Probably wasn't even born then.
I wouldn't have been very old at all at this point. I don't know when Kitely joined the club, but to be honest, he's probably one of the only players that I remember from that era. So I'm gonna.
It was a little bit before Michael Kitely, maybe a season or two before Kitely. I think Kitely joined about 2007, if I'm right, 2008.
I don't know anyone then, to be honest.
Eddie, your guess?
Well, I'll go for, if we're talking, 2005, 2006, I'll go for Mark Kennedy if we're talking about a sort of ambidextrous winger. I will also just pull you up on one thing, Dan. Bakary Sako did not have his 100th appearance for Wolves while we're in League One. I'll just point that out. Just question something you said earlier.
What's the 100 for then? That's someone after.
It's a good question, but we signed him this
wide.
season before, so he couldn't have had 100 appearances by the time.
Career goals, maybe. No.
I don't know, but I'm just going to question that. But yeah, I'm saying Mark Kennedy for the next picture.
So I'm gonna just quickly tell you, Eddie, that I'm correct. It was his 100th appearance for Wolves, and your guesses of Mark Kennedy, Michael Kiteley are all incorrect. It was one of the best players in the Nike Scorpio Cage series, Seol Ki-hyun. Right, the third pair of boots, and probably my favourite out of the four you can see on the screen, orange Mercurial Vapors. Or should we say old gold Mercurial Vapors, because that was supposedly the shirt colour that we were wearing at the time. I'll come to you first on this one, Eddie.
Shout out James, by the way, in the chat, James WWFC, for getting the Saka one right. If anyone else in the chat wants to give us a clue, I'll happily take it. What's the year? What year are we talking, Dan? Give us a year.
I think it will be too easy if I gave you the year. You've just got to realise Nike Mercurial Vapors were early 2000s. What was yours saying then, Ali?
I was giving him a hint. Look at the ball, because a certain league use a certain brand, and I don't recognise that ball, so that tells me what year that is.
It's good knowledge, good ball knowledge. Early 2000s, 2002, Admiral Doritos years. Could it be Paul Ince? Throw it out there.
Okay, Eddie's gone with Paul Ince. Ali?
Is this the second one up, gold boots? Just to clarify.
The third one down. He's got white ankle straps.
Yeah. Is it Henri Camara?
Josh?
Camara.
I was going to say Ince, but yeah, my knowledge. I was 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah, we'll let you off on that one, Josh. Ali's first on the board with the correct answer. That is Henri Camara. He looked the part with his Senegalese wristbands, sweatbands on as well. He looked the part back then. And that was, if you remember, the orange boots and the sitters that he missed at Man United away in that Premier League season, he'll soon come back to you. Now, the last pair of boots at the bottom, one of my favourite pair of Adidas Predators. I believe this was around the 2004, 2005 season. Ali, can you go 2-0 up against these pair?
I actually recognise this picture, but I can't. I was going to say Alex Ray, but I thought he wore sort of older school Puma, I think, or something. I don't think he wore those boots, but the picture reminds me of Alex Ray, so I'll just say Alex Ray.
I could imagine Alex Ray wearing like a pair of like Iron Brew Roosters or something.
Yeah.
Josh, can you have a guess for me on that last picture on the bottom?
Short and simple, no, I can't.
No, Kamara. Eddie?
What are we talking, 2004?
Yeah, mid-2000s.
I'm going to say...
I think it was after the Premier League relegation season.
I'm going to say Carl Court.
The correct answer for the bottom picture was, in fact, Colin Cameron.
Oh, I should have had that, really. He's behind me.
I hope you all enjoyed our boot quiz. So just to remind you all, we partnered up with the Boot Chamber earlier on today, and you can get 10% off all your orders using the discount code FANCAST10. So take a look at their website, thebootchamber.com, and hopefully you get yourself a nice pair of boots from there. And if I can finally work out how to get you all back on screen, that'd be helpful. Right. Thanks for joining myself, Ali, Eddie, and Josh on tonight's show. Just for our audio listeners there, we're going to go for a quick break, and after the advert break, we'll be talking about Game Week 35 and Man City versus Wolves. Be back in a second. Welcome back, guys, to the Wolves Fancast in association with the Sports Social Podcast Network, FCquiz.app, and the Boston Coffee Vending Company. On Friday, Wolves travel away to Man City with an 8 p.m. kickoff, kicking off Game Week 35 of the Premier League. Still a bit left to decide in the league table. Wolves heading towards the dizzy heights of 12th and 11th with a couple of more wins under our belt, but not really the eventful season that the TV viewers from China and everywhere else that tune in and pay their good money on whatever TV channel they watch it on. So I'll be there on Friday night making the trip up to Man City, hoping Wolves can make it 7 wins out of 7. But as we usually do on the preview show, I'm going to come to the guys now and ask for their banker in this week's Game Week 35. I'm going to come to you first, Josh, but let me just remind everyone of the weekend's fixtures. As I said, Man City at home to Wolves, 8 o'clock on Friday night. 12:30 on Saturday is FA Cup defeated semi-finalists at home to Fulham, Aston Villa. Leicester versus Southampton, with Southampton 7 points behind Ruud van Nistelrooy's failing Foxes. Everton at home to Ipswich. Those are the 3 o'clocks. At 5:30 on Saturday, it's Arsenal versus Bournemouth. Sunday at 2 o'clock, it's Brighton and Newcastle, Brentford versus Man United, West Ham versus Tottenham. And at 4:30 on Sunday, Chelsea at home to Liverpool, with Game Week 35 fixtures concluding with Crystal Palace at home to Nottingham Forest. Josh, your banker from the Game Week 35 fixtures.
See, I was looking through these and honestly, none of these scream to me like, yeah, I think they'll definitely win that. I think there'll be a lot of goals in all of these games. That's the only thing that I can see. But if I had to pick a game, I think I'd pick Everton purely because I don't think Ipswich were a very good team. I just think they had a lot of fight about them and there's absolutely nothing for them to fight for anymore. So maybe they'll just go really flat and just basically lie down for everyone now because the only thing they had going for them was the fight, and I don't think they'll really have that anymore. So I'm going to go with Everton.
We laughed about this on the review show on Sundays that a couple of months back, we were talking about maybe Wolves needing 30 points to stay up this season. We're on 41 now, but I think you could maybe finish 17th place with 25 points this season. That's how bad Ipswich, Leicester and Southampton are. Who do you think is going to win out of Leicester and Southampton, Josh?
Can they both lose? I mean, I think Southampton. I know the form table says Southampton are the worst team in the league, but since Van Nistelrooy took over Leicester, I mean, West Brom have had 4 managers since they last scored a goal, haven't they, or something mental like that? Like, they are so bad. I think I'd back Leicester if I had to pick someone.
Yeah, it's I think that one could be quite low on the match of the day on Saturday night. Where's your banker ready for the Game Week 35 fixtures?
Well, they might put out a weakened team, but I think Arsenal are going to want to bounce back, aren't they, from their midweek defeat to PSG? So I think they're going to be looking for 3 points against Bournemouth just to get a bit of team spirit back, just building a bit of confidence for the second leg. So yeah, Arsenal, and West Ham Spurs. That's going to be another 2 teams again, a bit like Leicester Southampton. 2 teams who just can't buy a win at the moment. So. Yeah. That's going to be an interesting one, but I wouldn't put it past the Hammers to get a result.
Yeah, 2 teams that, like Josh just alluded to, are both easily able to both lose that game on Sunday. They're both that poor at the moment. Ali, your thoughts on the 35 fixtures?
Yeah, I was leaning towards Josh's shout of Everton at home, but it would just be very Everton to lose that game. Being surrounded by Evertonians, I just know that you don't back them. So I would probably bank on Chelsea to beat Liverpool because Liverpool have presumably been on the piss all week. So I would go with, and Chelsea have got something to play for. to secure a place in the Champions League next season, they actually really need to win that game. Liverpool will be just so happy they got it over the line. So I think I'd probably bank on. I don't think there's any easy game to pick there, but if I had to go for one, I'll probably go for Chelsea.
Yeah, Maximus Roy in the comments section has joined you by saying, I can see Chelsea doing Liverpool now, bizarrely, you might say. Maximus, I sent you our email address the other day. If you have emailed me, we haven't received it yet, but you can message me on Twitter if you need to, at Sherpa Van Dan. My banker, guys, I'm surprised that none of you have said it, is Brentford at home to Man United on Sunday. Man United play in the Europa League tomorrow night to Atletico Bilbao. They're getting slapped tomorrow night and they're getting slapped by Brentford on Sunday. Patrick Mbeumo is one of the most informed players in the league at the moment. And Man United in just a sorry state of affairs. And I'll say this on Saturday at the Leicester game, that it's literally classic Wolves that we're probably going to finish above Man United. They're not going to be in Europe next season, yet they still managed to poach our best player. That's just how our owners really don't do us any favours. But that's my banker for Gameweek 35. Let us know in the comments section where your money is at this weekend. So let's talk about the game a bit more. Wolves 6 wins in a row after our 3-0 win over Leicester last Saturday, coming up against Pep Guardiola's FA Cup finalist Man City. It's not going to be an easy game by a long run, but probably a Man City side that will be travelling to face at the Etihad on Friday night with our best chance to win since that Adama double, Eddie.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're looking at the top form team in the Premier League, Wolverhampton Wanderers, versus the second form team in Man City. So yeah, it's a clash of players that are feeling good, that are feeling confident. We've obviously had some brilliant results over Man City since we got promoted to the Premier League. Can we make it 7 in a row? I mean, you make it 7 in a row, might as well build a statue of Vitor Pereira right there and then, I think, because it would be absolutely magic. But it's definitely our toughest test, and it's Vitor's toughest test on this run. So it's going to be a really hard game. At 8 o'clock, late night. Just but if we're feeling good, anything can happen.
Indeed. I said jokingly after the Leicester game that if we beat Man City on Friday night, I'm putting a 5 on us to win the league next season. I think we've got that Leicester under Ranieri momentum building at the moment. And I said all we need to do in the summer is just recruit a Prime Mahrez and Kante from France. I think Greg mentioned it the other day that League One in France is in real financial trouble. So there's going to be some players to get on the cheap in the summer. So hopefully we can unearth the next N'Golo Kante and Riyad Mahrez from France in the summer. Lost my train of thought, to be honest.
That's why we want Vardy back then, isn't it? Be able to complete the trio.
To get the band back together, may as well just get Cody as well. Get Kasper Schmeichel, who's linked to him. He can take over from Sam Johnston when he leaves in the summer. Right. The rumour apparently today is that Jurgen Strand-Larsen may have a groin strain and might not feature in the game on Friday night. Based on the team that started and finished the game on Saturday, Ali, if Strand-Larsen is unavailable, who takes that number 9 position for you?
That's a really good question. I didn't know that.
It's only a rumour led by a certain, I'm going to just rename him Dav Gallywell for this scenario.
I think in that scenario, I would probably play Bellegarde and put Cunha in as a sort of in the 9 slot. I think that's what I'd do. I think that's what Pereira would do as well. I'm not convinced he fancies Hwang. Sarabia, I don't think it doesn't. I just think he'd go for Bellegarde because Bellegarde's played so well and he can sort of help Andre and Gomez in the middle as well, as much as they need it. So I think that's the way I think if it was me, that's how I'd go, and I think that's how he would go. But it would be a big loss to not have Larson in that game because I think he can cause them a real issue. But yeah, I think it would be Bellegarde who would come in.
No clamour for Guedes?
No. No, nothing. I think if Guedes has, I know he scored the goal against Leicester when he started, but other than that, I think Guedes has made good. There have been games when he's made an impression off the bench, but it's been from the bench, not from the start. So I wouldn't start him. No, I would go with Bellegarde, who I think is unfortunate to be out of the team anyway. It was only because he got picked up a niggle and then Cunha got his place back. So I think it would be him who would come back in if Strand Larsen isn't going to play.
Where would your head be at, Josh, if Strand Larsen is unavailable on Friday night? Maximus Wright, the absolute terror in the comment section, has suggested Matthias Marne getting a run out on Friday night. He scored again for the academy last night, I believe. He's got to get minutes before the end of the season. Matthias Marne has. There's no reason. We're mathematically safe now. Let's just chuck him in at the deep end and see how he swims. But yeah, your thoughts on if Strand Larsen is unavailable, Josh?
Yeah, I don't think the Mane shout is terrible, to be fair. And if he wasn't out on loan, I probably would have said, if it's just for one game, Fletcher Holman. But obviously he's out on loan, so that can't happen. The obvious one to me is Guedes, just because it's probably the most natural replacement in terms of a striker. That's probably the only real other option there is, but he doesn't seem to fancy him. It looks like he's not bothered about being here again. So I probably, if it was me, probably would put Cunha there. And maybe give Rodrigo Gomez a run. But I don't know, it is tough because it's like the only position that we don't really have a proper backup for, isn't it? So I'd probably shift things around and put Cunha there and bring someone else in.
I'm all in on Rodrigo Gomez. Now you've suggested it. I think the way that Man City can get opened up with the diagonals, I think if you could get Cunha or Rodrigo coming in off that left with a diagonal, I think that's going to be one of our best ways in getting a result on Friday night. Would you make any changes to the team that beat Leicester, Eddie, if Strand Larsen is available or unavailable? What's your mindset there?
Yeah, like Ali said, really, I think Vitor will go Bellegarde, and I think he'll shuffle things around a bit with Cunha maybe a bit more central. But I would, like Josh and yourself, I'd love to see Rodrigo Gomez have a start. He's certainly done enough to justify it. And we're going to be playing counter-attacking football. We're going to need pace, But this is a Man City team with a weakened defence. They've still got John Stones is out, Ake's out, obviously Rodri's out. I think Haaland won't be playing. So, we need players that can run at them. We need players that can counter-attack. We need players that can make things happen. So, let's be honest, it's not going to be Carlos Forbes, is it? So let's start Rodrigo Gomez.
I mean, if Vitor Pereira, apparently Vitor Pereira is in the Royal Oak in Codsall again as we're filming live. It could go on a serious sesh tonight and just think, fuck it, I'll start Carlos Forbes. And, with the momentum that we've got going at the moment, who's to say Carlos Forbes can't have his Adama Traore moment at the Etihad? There is also a possibility, and it would be absolutely delicious if we could absolutely tear Matheus Nunes apart in that right back, full back position for Man City on Friday night. Is he the weak link for you, Josh, in that back line for Man City at the moment? Because the one player for Man City who's really starting to impress me is Nico O'Reilly.
Yeah, he has been good, but to be honest, I haven't really been paying that much attention to City and the team they're playing. Like, I couldn't tell you the last back four they played. Like, I didn't watch him in the FA Cup. I've just seen Nico O'Reilly's name popping up with goals every now and then, and been seeing good things about him online. But if Matheus Nunes is going to be playing right back, and you can put Rodrigo Gomez on whatever side he's on, I'd struggle to see how, especially if we're playing counter and he's going to be running at him, I'd struggle to see how he'd deal with Gomez. So I would probably say he's a weak link, yeah.
Let me just quickly share my screen. I can show you exactly how Man City lined up in their FA Cup semi-final. So Stefan Ortega was in goal. It was a back line of Nico O'Reilly on the left, Gvardiol and Ruben Dias in the middle with Matheus Nunes at right side. Rico Lewis, Bernardo Silva and Mateo Kovacic was the midfield three, with Jack Grealish, Omar Mamouche and Savinho in the attacking lineup. Looking at that Man City team on the screen, Eddie, where do you think we can really exploit them apart from Mateus Nunes? I think Mateus Nunes is the way forward here, isn't it?
Well, I think Kovacic and Silva have not had their best season, and generally the Man City midfield's been poor without Rodri. So I think we've got to be looking to, Andre, Gomez, who I think would both just fucking swan into that City midfield, by the way. I think we've got to be looking at them to just win those midfield battles, dominate the midfield. I think that's where we're going to really punish them.
Do you agree with that, Alan?
Yeah, you look at that City team and it doesn't frighten you as it used to. And I don't think we go there now, sort of fearing being passed off the park. I think we can go a bit more toe for toe. I'm actually just thinking, I suspect what Vitor might do going through the forward line. He's played Menezzi, hasn't he, as a false nine? I think he did it the last time he did it against Fulham at home, which we lost, but that was the last time. And so he might keep Cunha out on the left to target Nunes, knowing that he will have a lot of joy there and wanting to keep Cunha in his best position, and maybe Menezzi's the one who gets moved across. There's nothing in that City team, I don't think at the moment, that we should be worried about. I think our midfield will shape up really well against theirs. And I think we can create a lot against them. I mean, this is our biggest test. I know we've won 6 in a row. I think it's been today that it's been said that we've done that against the 6 teams below us, but ultimately we can only beat who's been in front of us. And I don't fear this City team, and I think we go there with every chance of actually putting on a really good performance. And nothing in that team. I don't think Rico Lewis, Bernardo Silva, and Kovacic don't, to me, stack up against Andre and Gomez. Not in any way. And I think our front three can really cause their back four a lot of problems. And we've got Agbadou, and we've got the strongest defence in Europe, so we don't need to worry about anything. There's no Haaland anyway. We've got nothing to worry about up top.
Yeah, I agree. I think you look at that Man City side there, Kovacic, Bernardo Silva, Rico Lewis in midfield. It doesn't scream a midfield that's going to be highly intense compared to what we've come up against in recent times. And our midfield pairing at the moment, João Gomez and Andre, are in scintillating form, aren't they? And if Mateus Cunha can get into a rhythm quickly in the game, there's no reason why we can't get a result there. 6 wins on the bounce, winning breeds confidence. I think Vitor will have them set up to really hurt Man City in the transition. And hopefully, we've talked about the possibility of Rodrigo Gomez, Cunha, and if Strand Larsen is fit. I think the form that we're in as a team now, it does seem that the football gods are shining on us. So there's no reason why we can't get a result there on Friday night. Vitor Pereira will be having his press conference tomorrow around lunchtime, so we'll know a bit more about the team then. But before we end the show and go to Eddie's quiz, I'll come to you first, Josh. What's your score prediction for Friday night?
I don't know, because like we said, they're not the City of old, and I'm not really scared of them. But there's nothing stopping City from just turning up one week and battering someone 6-0. They can just turn it on like that. I don't think they will. And if I was going to put my heart on the line, I think I'd say 2-2. I think I'll go over 2-2 draw. But what I will say is, if we do beat Man City, I think this will be the point where I'm fully switched. Because I even said it to the people that I stand next to at the match. And I was like, what we're doing is scarily similar to what Leicester did the season before they won the league. And like Ali said, you can only beat what's in front of you. And the teams that we have beat have been poor teams. But if you beat this Man City side, regardless of who it is, it's still Man City. I think this is the point where you can really think, wow, we especially here, and we can really build on it. But I think for my prediction, I'm going to go 2-2.
Yeah, Maximus Roy has joined you saying 2-2. I'm already sort of front seat wanting to sit on Vitor's lap, on Vitor's party bus. That's how much momentum we've got at the moment. I mentioned at the start of the show, I didn't know if we win on Friday night, I'm looking at £5 on us to win the league next season, because we have got that momentum. You wouldn't like to think I think Kevin De Bruyne will get minutes from the start on Friday night. He didn't come off the bench for Man City in that FA Cup semi-final. I think Phil Foden's due to get a start. Or their season relies on them finishing in the Europe, the Champions League spot, as well as winning the FA Cup. Or it's an absolutely atrocious season for Pep Guardiola. I'm going with Wolves to win 2-1 on Friday night, and I think Marshall Monetti is going to bag one. Don't ask me why, because that sounds as crazy as us winning the league next season, but he's got to score sooner or later. Eddie, your score prediction for Friday night?
You've inspired me, Dan, with your talk of the Traore double. You know, I like 2-1, and I like what? Why not? Why not Carlos Forbes? Why not Carlos Forbes off the bench? 2 breakaway goals. I mean, I don't know if you remember, I've been to the Etihad 3 times. The last time I was there, 2018, 2019, it was our FA Cup. It was I don't know if you remember the game, but it was Ina Bakary was there in that Traore role, but instead of scoring twice, he just missed. He had about 3 or 4 one-on-ones.
I went to that. Connor Ronan had the game of his life.
Yeah.
And
Will Norris in goal. I don't mean to pull you up again, Eddie, because you tried to pull me up earlier, but it was the Carabao Cup.
Carabao. I did. To be fair, I wasn't sure what competition it was.
Will Norris in goal. Ryan Bennett. I think Ryan Bennett might have been right wing back that night, if my memory is correct. But yeah, Ena Bakary had 2 huge chances that night. Connor Cody had his trademark penalty, missing the shootout.
Yeah, 2 or 3. But anyway, I think Forbes isn't gonna channel Ina Bakary. I think he's gonna channel Traore. Why not? Forbes 2 late goals, 2-1 Wolves. Let's go.
I'll be buzzing if I leave the Etihad on the back of a 2-1 Wolves win on Friday night. If Carlos Forbes gets a goal or an assist, I'll be asking to be sectioned because I'll think I've completely lost my mind. But Ali, your score prediction for Friday night? Is Ali there? I think you're on mute, Ali.
Yeah.
Go on.
Sorry. I think it's a night for currently.
A night for heroes is the end of that sentence, Ali. A night for heroes.
It's a night for Cunha, isn't it? It's his shop window. It's his. I'm playing Pep's City. I want to put myself in the shop window. So I think Cunha could absolutely tear them apart. I think we can eat. I think it could be comfortable. Generally, think if we play to our best, I don't think they're anywhere near what they were before. And I think I was going to say 2-2. Then you were talking me into 2-1. So I'm going to be interested in go 3-1. Cunha will get at least 2.
If someone had said to you after the Ipswich home game that we were going to go to the Etihad and win 3-1, you'd be looking at like mental institutes, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous. I saw that stat the other day. Was it that even if we'd started on 0 points when Vitor took over, we'd still be, is it 9 clear from safety?
No, 11.
11. Is it 11? It's just nuts, isn't it? Just ridiculous.
The Vitor bus it's got pace and it's driving downhill. We've got momentum.
I think we're set up well. I think when you look at the lineups on paper, they set up well for us. The way they play, the way we've been playing, it sets up well.
The Vita bus is coming and everybody's jumping is the chorus that will be ringing around the Etihad on Friday night. I might be the only one singing it, but I'm saying
that would be an incredible chant. That would. The Vita bus is coming.
And everybody jumping. Anyway, thanks for joining myself, Ali, Eddie, and Josh on tonight's Wolves Fancast match preview show. We're going to close the show with one of Eddie's quizzes. And on João Gomez's life, Eddie, I've somehow managed to avoid the questions and the answers. All I've seen is your debut squad number quiz image that you can see on the screen now. That's all I can see. So I'm going to assume when I click right, it will be the first question.
It will be indeed. Thanks, Dan. And now I am got my Quizmaster hat on. I'm hoping I can. You guys will do a bit better than we did on the boot quiz earlier as well. Shout out to everyone in the comments that did well on the boot quiz. I will just pull you up on the Bakary Sacco. It was November 2014, Dan, but he had his 100th appearance, which was when we were in the Championship, not when we were in League One.
All right, we're both wrong.
I just no,
but it wasn't his 100th appearance, though.
While we're in the Championship, but it was 100 appearance, yeah.
I think I'm more right than you. And I have also got the right to quickly remove you from this show.
Actually, boo me from the channel, boo me from the video, boo me from the fancast.
Right, so put us through your quiz, Eddie.
Right, nice and quick. Thanks everyone for tuning in as well and joining us for the fancast tonight on this Wednesday evening. Thanks everyone for being with us. So two shirts behind me. I thought I'd bring a couple of debut shirts, which is my Alex Ray, Colin Cameron 2001-2002 season when we signed those, as I'm sure everyone at home may or may not be aware of actually. The Football League introduced mandatory squad numbers in the 1999-2000 season. Before then, everyone applying their trade divisions 2, 3, 4 certainly were lining up 1 to 11 for every match, and no player had an assigned squad number. And then in '99, Football League said we'll do away with that, and everyone's got to have a number, and you'll have that number for the whole of the season, which of course these days is commonplace. Now we're going to run through 5 players. These are 5 players making their debuts for Wolves, or their debut season as a professional or first team player anyway for Wolverhampton Wanderers. These are 5 players like Cameron and Ray that joined us either in January or maybe a bit later in the summer when all the more popular squad numbers had been snapped up already. So we're going to look at 5 pictures of Wolves players, and I'll give you a multiple choice, and for everyone at home as well, we'll say who the player is, and then I'll go through you one by one and see if you can remember their squad number. Not as a boots collector, but as a shirt collector, squad number is something that I get quite excited about. I was rather sadly will admit that last December I did a sort of football shirt advent calendar where I had one shirt for each day of the month from 1 to 31, and I wanted to collect 31 different shirts, and I even considered going up to 50, but you can't do it as a Wolves fan because we don't have a full roster of players from 1 to 50. That's a side issue. Right then, pull us up the first picture, Dan, and we'll go from there. Right then, so we're flying back in time before Josh was born to August 2002. Well, not this picture, but that's when Paul Ince joined Wolves, a free agent, formerly of Middlesbrough, and of course Man Yor. But in August 2002, what squad number did Paul Ince choose for our Championship season? We were, of course, promoted in the playoffs in the Name Stadium. So we can go. I'm going to give you 4 options. A is number 8, B 18, C 23, or D 28. That's your 4 options. I'm going to start with Josh. Josh, what do we reckon?
I think he might be trying to trick us with the first one. I'm going to go 8. I think you're trying to trick us.
Okay, let's go to Ali. What do you reckon, Ali?
He definitely was number 8, but I'm going to go 18.
18. We'll go to Dan. What do you reckon, Dan?
Yeah, I'm going with number 8, like Josh. I think he's that sort of captain. I think he would demand a number within the 1 to 11 criteria. And I think 8 was Paul Ince's number.
Well, roll the next slide, please, and let's put us out of our misery. Well done if you played along at home and you were shouting into your phone or your computer, laptop, tablet, wherever you're listening to us, AirPods. He was number 23. Wolves Fancast. He was number 23.
Is that photoshopped?
No, it's made on MS Paint, Dan. So I don't even know how to use Photoshop.
So he wasn't number. So I'm stupidly not realising what the quiz was, but he wasn't number 23 in the playoff final.
He was number 23 in the playoff final. That's right.
That's bonkers. That's Mandela effect. That is.
Because Paul Ince was number 8 every season after that for Wolves, and when we were in the Premier League, he took his number 8 back. But Yeah, number 8 was already taken when he joined us, so he had to settle for number 23. And number 8 was taken by,
Keith
at
Andrews.
bonus point, if anyone could tell me, 2002, who already had number 8 for Wolves.
Was it Keith Andrews?
It was at Wolves Shirts, which is a great collector called John Broom in the comments with Irwin. Dennis Irwin was number 8 already. So Ince had to settle for 23.
All right, stop the show. I've had enough.
I was thinking,
How long's this
Dan,
going to go?
I was thinking, I know, yeah, let's be honest, I've done a few quizzes before, Dan, and you've always very impressed me with your encyclopedic knowledge of Wolves. So, bit of a slow start for little Dan, but I'm thinking you'll still probably wrap this quiz up. Well done.
Follow the fan cast. I'm fucking sick of the club.
1 point for the comment section, anyway. 1 point for the comment section, nothing for Fancast. Right, let's roll the next picture, please, Dan. And we're going to move forward in time to, and comment section, just hold your horses a second. Let the pundits struggle on screen. We're going to go forward to January 2008, when Sylvan Ebanks-Blake signed from Plymouth Argyle for £1.5 million. A bargain. January, of course, meaning most of the squad numbers had already been assigned in the summer the previous year. So what was his squad number? We're going to have 4 choices. We're going to go for A is number 9, B, number 15, C is number 20, and D is number 27. We're going to start with Ali. What do you reckon, Ali?
27.
27 says Ali. Let's move forward to Dan this time.
Can we just have a guess before the multiple choices in the next one? Because I'm going with 27 as well.
Don't get too big for your boots, Dan.
That's what I would have gone with without the multiple choice.
Well, we can always say that once we've heard the multiple choice one. And Josh, what are you going for?
I'm the same. I had some 20-something in my head. I'm going to say 20 just in the hopes that I can get even.
Oh, well, if you should have gone with your gut and gone 27, well done to Dan. Well done, Ali. Well
Do you
done
remember there was a period around that time when it was like Nathan Blake and Dean Sturridge was 27 and 29, and then Sylvan came after Nathan and got the 27 shirt as well.
And well done, Maximus Wright in the comments as well, who hit 27. Ebanks-Blake rolled the picture, and we can see him there with the 27 on his shirt. And obviously, following season, he took the number 9 when we were promoted to the Premier League. Right then, roll the next one.
Roll the river.
Okay. Ooh, it's great. One of my favourite Wolves pictures of all time, Sacco and Dicko lining up against some Walsall fans. Look at that appalling hoodie he's got on. A brilliant player for Wolves. And I will say, had this number not just for his debut season, Nua Dicko, I had this for the season after, before changing numbers. We bought him another January buy, 2014, £300,000 from Wigan Athletic. But what number does he have on his back? Now, at Dan's request, I won't be doing a multiple choice. So we're going to start with Dan.
No, I think let's keep the theme. You've done really well with it. I'd hate to ruin the game by getting another one right.
Okay, we'll roll out the multiple choice. Right, is it A, 30, B, 40, C, 50, or D, 60? What was Nua Dicko's number? We will start with Dan.
I'll go with A, 30.
30. And we're going to go to Josh next, I think.
I have seen this picture at least 1,000 times, and I've honestly got no idea.
This is how, just to say, this is how I felt in the boots questions, because my eyes are just at shirt level. I'm not looking at boots. I'm not looking at balls. It's just not where my mind goes. So,
looking at what?
So I feel your pain.
Mentally, I'd got it in my head before I answered that he was 37. So now I'm concerned that I went with 30, but my mind was telling me to edge to 40.
Well, I'm locking you in for 30 though, Dan, I'm afraid. And Josh, what are you going for?
It's 30 or 40. I'm going to go 40.
40. And Ali?
Yeah, it's not 50 or 60. I'll go 40.
Well, that is 1 point for Ali, 1 point for Josh. Well played. And 1 point for Maximus Wright in the comments. That has hit up with a 40 as well. Rolled a picture down, and we can see him there.
Get David Evans and Richard Hobbs back in the house. He's absolutely shit. Sack him. Don't renew his contract in the summer. Let's get the old band back together.
I think that's 2 points for Ali. 1 point for Josh, 1 point for Dan. Let's see the picture, Dan, and we can see the 40 on his back.
If Morgan keeps white against Stoke and the FA Cup doesn't come up, Eddie, I'm not playing this game anymore.
And I think the comments section, have they got all three right? They got Ebanks. They got all three. I think it's three out of three from the comment section. Well played. Comment section. Who gave us a correct answer of 40 as well. Right, number 4. Let's move on. And this time we're moving forward to the Europa League. Max Kilman's £40,000 signing from Maidenhead United by our then scout, now sporting director Matt Hobbs, who eventually made his debut in the 2018-2019 season before playing for us in the Europa League 2019-2020. Here is him playing against Besiktas, I believe. Espanyol. But what number is Max Kilman have on the back of his shirt? What was his debut season or following season shirt number as well? So going to start with, I think it's time to put Josh on the stocks first off. We're going to start with multiple choice. We're going to go with, is it either A, 49, B, 59, C, 69, or D, 79? What do we reckon, Josh?
It's my most confident answer yet. I'm going A49.
A49. Let's go for Ali next.
Yeah, I was on the comment with 49.
49 as well. Dan?
Well, I'm just going to say 49, just to keep it even. I thought it was another one mentally. When I first saw that picture, I thought it was 47, so I'm glad 49's up there.
Yeah. And shout out to Atwell Shirts in the comments with 49 as well. Roll the picture, Dan, and 1 point all round. That's 4 out of 4 for the comment section. Well played, and 3 points for Ali. I think 2 points for Josh, 2 points for Dan. One more question to go. Let's put it up. Number 5. Moving forward to, we can see Steve Davis there. And Tony Roberts, and we're looking for 2022 Hugo Bueno, who of course currently plying his trade at Feyenoord, a player I think we'd all like to see returning to Molineux, fighting for his place in the team next year. You know, brilliant wing back.
Get rid of him.
I'd love to see him back.
25 mil. 25 mil on the PSR books. Keep Ryan out Nori.
Okay, so what was his squad number for his debut season? Let's go for who's up first. I think I'm going to start with Ali this time. I think that's only fair. Ali, here's a multiple choice, unless anyone wants to jump in with a number already for a bonus point.
49.
It's not correct.
Can I have a guess at 63?
It's not correct. And Ali, do you want to have a guess before you hear the multiple choice?
No.
Absolutely not. Right, let's get out of our misery. We're going to go for some, I think in maths they call them, I don't know what they call them, integers, doubles. We're going to start with A, 16, B, 32, C, 64, or D, 128. What do you think his number is?
64.
Ali's gone 64. Dan?
64.
Yeah. 64.
This is a broken man. Where's your fight, Dan? You're saving your fight for the Molineux, saving your fight for the charity match and argue with the ref. That's what we want to see. It is indeed. Roll the picture. And well done, Maximus Wright in the comment section as well, who's gone for 64. That's 5 out of 5 in the comment section. People playing along on YouTube. Well played, Maximus Wright.
You are in the comment section and you've got 5 out of 5 and you haven't used Google, may God have mercy on your soul.
Thanks everyone for joining in. Well played, Ali, who takes the win for the pundits. here, very close, little Dan and Josh just behind. Dan, if you'd have gone 64, I'd have given you a bonus point. Then I think you would have won the competition.
Yeah,
good effort.
A lot of people already dislike me. I thought if I got 5 out of 5, it would just add to the petrol. And I thought, I need to stay humble, as Erling Haaland said.
Well, I think there's something about being a gamer as well. I remember seeing N64, Hugo Bueno 64. I don't know if that's why he went for 64, but that was my era, the N64. So I remember seeing that number and thinking that's a shirt I'd love to own. But yeah, thanks everyone for playing along. Thanks if you played along at home. Maybe next time, Dan, you can put me on the spot and ask me some like blade of grass lengths or some goal nets related questions. Who knows?
Indeed, I'm gonna really throw you under the bus next time. In Bakary Saka's 100th game for Wolves, who was the referee, Eddie?
I think it was Uriah Rennie.
Oh, he's only gone and got it bloody wrong. Thanks for joining myself, Eddie, Ali, and Josh on tonight's previous show. Just a reminder, we are fundraising for the Good Shepherd Wolverhampton with our annual charity match at Molineux on the 30th of May. The link is in the bio. And once more, we are partnered now with thebootchamber.com. You can get 10% off all orders at their website, thebootchamber.com. Recently, I purchased myself these Adidas Carnivore boots off thebootchamber.com. I will be wearing them at the Molineux on May 30th. And for those who aren't aware of my skills, you really need to try and get one of those golden tickets to watch me and the boys in person on May 30th. So thanks again for following, supporting the Wolves Fancast. We'll be back possibly on Saturday this weekend to review Wolves' 2-1 win away at Manchester City at Friday night, 8 p.m. Have a good rest of your week. And as always, up the Wolves.